I'm going to wait until everybody is here. It's gonna take a little while, so don't rush. I think I'm like a little bit late because there was an issue with my Facebook, so hopefully everything is working. But hello everyone. I'm just like I said, I'm gonna give it a few minutes until you guys can find me, and we get started. And it's gonna be fun today. We're gonna do something quite interesting. Well, not interesting, but a lot of time consuming and working, but I've done a lot of the work ahead. So, hello everyone. Like I said, I'm just gonna wait until I see. There you go. Okay, so you're coming from YouTube. Yeah, you see YouTube is working, but I don't know what's going on with Facebook. It was prompting me saying that it has changed the what is the name, the password, and I couldn't log in, so I had to I tried to, and it canceled off. So I was just like, you know what, I need to go live anyway. So I hope you guys are doing okay. Let me know if you're seeing me properly. If not, I'll have to flip the camera. Once I, you know, turn the camera, then we'll know. But, just in case you've never been here and you don't know who I am, I'm Natalie D'Souza. I'm part of the video design team for Altenew, and I'm going to be your host for the next hour. So I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm coming from Toronto, Canada, and we started spring up here, but still cold. It's going to snow again. So never fails up here in Canada. If you're in Canada ever, or in the northern hemisphere, you know that even though the weather changes, it really doesn't change until a couple months after in the year. So like I said, we're in the middle of spring, but we are we have snow and it's cold, so it's not really spring anymore, even though the season says so. But I hope you guys are doing okay. Let us know where you're watching from. Like I said, I'm coming from Toronto, Canada. Even though you're watching on replay, let us know, because we like to know, how far we're reaching. And yeah, I have my new microphone here. I see it. I'll try it out. So we'll see. Today we're going to be working with a new product and all dies. So it's going to be a combination of older things with a lot of new stuff. So I'm going to be using the Crafting Necessities cardstock. I just got it and it's beautiful. It's this three the ones that you can use in your mini die cut, but they're actually solid and they're like a lot more. Instead of having the gradient set, you have just one color. So that means that you have a lot more options. So you're gonna see, I don't know if you guys can see it. I have a lot of die cuts here. I just gotta glue them together, and I haven't glued them because I don't know how many I'm gonna use. But once I turn around the camera, and I think I'm gonna do it, then we're gonna get started. So when I flip the camera, let me know if you guys can see me, if you guys see the image properly. Remember that, like I said, it is a mirror, so I see myself okay, but I'm gonna know that if you guys are doing fine. So let me just make sure that I see my microphone, everything is okay. So if I'm doing okay, if you guys can see it properly, yeah, the cards are upside down, so don't worry about that. But I'm gonna get up and we're gonna get started with this. So like I said, today we're gonna be working with a lot of this. This is one of the newest products. It's called Crafting Necessities Solid Cardstock Set. So you have a lot of the same cardstock that you got in this sets here, which are the ones, the gradient cardstock. These are just one solid color per package. So, it like, if you do a lot of die cutting, which I do love die cutting, then this is perfect because you have like, the option of doing a lot more of die cutting and, bigger pieces too. So you're going to see that I have a lot, but like I said, I'm going to show you what I've done. I actually put like a few pieces from the all gradient cardstock because I needed them, but we're going to go in pieces. So today I'm going to focus a lot on the pinks. So I'm using pink diamond, blush, puffy heart, pink delicious, rose quartz, and blush for most of my flowers. And I am also going to use wisteria, which I don't have in the big cardstock, and deep pyrex for some of my flowers. Most of the center of my flowers are going to come from sand dunes. There you go. And also my leaves, I had to, even though I have just green, I went with two different colors. I went with sweet leaf and just green. So like, I have that. I told you what colors I'm going to use. I am going to show you how I'm going to die cut them. Like I said, even though I have a lot of it die cut, I haven't glued them yet because I wanted to do that with you. I don't know how many I'm going to use, but I have them here. So let me just do a quick cleanup that now that I've shown you the colors, I can put it away. Okay, and I'm going to show you what I did. So I am using 3 different sets of dies. One of them, it's kind of on the oldish side. It's not old, but it's a well-loved one here in my stash, and it's this one here. This is the branches and berries die set. And I cut all my, no, not all my leaves, but most of my leaves I cut from here. You're going to see them. I have them here. And I also cut some of the branches in the same thing in the brown. And I use the green and the brown because the picture that I'm going to use here, it actually, my goddaughters were in brown. So I thought I needed to bring some of that into the picture. So I have that ready. Let me just, I don't know where the package went, so I'm going to put it here for now. I'm also using this one, the Pond Flowers die set. And I love this because it creates little flowers, which is what I need for today. I don't want big flowers. I could use big flowers, but I want to use the small ones because I'm going to show you my idea in 2 seconds. And I am also using, and this is one of the newest ones. This is the lovely floral hat die set. This just came back. This just came this month in the release. And I love the florals that it creates. So I'm cutting those too. So let's get started with that. Have them here. Let's see that I have my little set here. Ready? Where did I put the rest? There we go. So we're just going to cut one. Like I said, I have a lot of it ready here. And the only thing that I forgot to bring down, but I'm going to get it right now, is my gems and my enamel dots. Because I was cutting the centers and I was like, I think I need a little bit of shine. So I'm going to pull out gems and enamel dots. Yes, for some reason, Keisha, you're here, yeah? Hi, Keisha. Facebook, it's not working for me. It says that the password was changed. So I don't know. So I just, that's what I was a little bit late trying to work that behind the scenes, but it didn't go as I thought. So I just jumped quickly here, and I'll work on that after. So I don't know if it's my Facebook or something, but that's why probably I'm not showing on Facebook. And probably I'm not showing on Facebook because of that. Because like I said, for some reason when I started, it said that the password had changed and it didn't let me log in, and it took me a little while. Sorry, Keisha, I'm telling you this one, but I will forget otherwise, and Keisha knows that I will. So because we work a lot together. So here we go. I went with colors that were like really, I'm going to say there's no red or yellow here, and it's not because I don't like those colors. I just wanted something that was on the cooler side of the spectrum. So when because I'm documenting this picture, it's from February, so I'm still in winter. So I want to stay within like that color family, that season. So I went with pinks because nothing wrong, can never have enough pink, especially for girls, and purples. And a lot had to do, like I said, with this picture. Okay, so I make sure that that picture was the one that I picked up the colors from. So I'm just gonna put my stuff away in order so I don't lose them. So that's my fear that it's happened. I'm sure that it's happened to you guys too. Like, you lose a die and then, or a stamp and you don't find it. I lost a little stamp for a long time. I did it like, I didn't know where it was. And then I found it at the bottom of the chair when I was sweeping. So that's one of my biggest fears, that I'm going to lose something that I actually need. So I'd rather just take my, 1 second and just fix this up before, I lose anything else. So here we go. Put my bags on the side. Let's just clean up. So I have all these little flowers here. I have my centers here. You're going to see I have a lot of little centers, my leaves. I have also some white leaves that I have left over from other projects. So I have it on the side here so I can easily reach them. But give me 1 second. I'm just going to get the enamel dots because I think this is going to need a little bit of shine. And enamel dots, I have the entire collection, are always a good thing. So I'm going to have them right here handy. And I'm going to show you what I have in mind. So like I said, colors, my leaves are ready. Just got to glue them together. I have my glue here. So that will take 2 seconds. But I don't want to do that until I have kind of the bones of my layer ready. So let's work on that. I have my picture here. Okay. I know, you know what? I have these little tiny pieces here that I don't want to lose them. And I left them here. And I was like cutting, I was cutting. And there was like, I was like, oh, I need 8 more. And those little pieces, I was like, you know what? Enamel dots are going to do the trick. So that's why enamel dots, one of the best things you can purchase. And there's a lot coming out. I don't know if you check the new gems. Those are amazing. So we're going to cut little frames. For that, I am using the Nesting Frames die set. Okay. And I went with the, going from the largest to the smallest, the third and fourth. And the way I want to use them is to create kind of a frame. You're going to see. I didn't want to go just with creating like a label. I wanted to create a frame. So I just used a little bit of the tape that I have in handy at the moment. I'm going to show you how I did it. Have some white card, and I want to keep it white. The base of this layout is going to be white, and because I want the pictures and the flowers to pop. So we're going to get going there. I have my dies in a binder in plastic sleeves. I have my dies in the envelopes that they come. I do have some of them with magnets. I gotta say, some of them do have the magnetic sheet. Some of them don't. But don't forget, I am blessed and lucky to have quite a few of them. And I mean it. I have them in like big trays. I have them in cards. The ones that I use on a regular basis, like phrases and frames and stuff like that. I'm not a full-time card maker. I'm more like a documenter. So I need like alphas and numbers and like label sets and stuff like that. Is something that I use on a regular basis. I have utility cards that I have like, I have them there. So I have my subscriptions on one shelf, my hot foil on another shelf, my press plates, like, with my hot foil plates. And then I have like dies, like frames and flowers and things that I use on a continuous basis. I have them on another shelf. So easy, like, for me, it's easy to just pull the card whenever I'm working with Altenew stuff, and or in anything, and I just have everything ready. So it's not that I lose stuff, it's just that they get misplaced. Okay, and then I find them when I'm sweeping or vacuuming. So that's the fun of it. So I cut all of these out of 100-pound cardstock, and I have 8 of them. I'm gonna glue them in pairs because I want 4. I'm gonna create a grid on my page. So let's go at it. So the reason that I'm going to do this is because I want the frames to be a little bit sturdier while I'm gluing like 2 of them. I want them to be a little bit sturdier, 1. And it's going to add a tiny little bit of dimension, not a lot, just a tiny bit. And that's all I want. So let me see. Set it aside to dry. This takes no time. So it took quite a bit of like, what I was going to say, to prep ahead of time for this. just because it's going to be quite a bit of die cutting. And I'm sure, like, when you create stuff, and, let me know if you have like a trick. Like, don't you go, like, if you start die cutting something, you go and die cut as much as you can of the same thing? I do that. I'm like die cutting. If I'm like hot foiling, I will hot foil like the same plate like 4 or 5 times, so I have extras on the, and then I do the negative part. Same thing with my press plates, and so I have always extras. Same thing when I was die cutting. I just die cut colors that I knew were gonna work together, and I'm just gonna set them aside. And then, like, I have a little envelope inside at the back of my dies, a little like a glassine bag. I just put them there and put them with the die. So whenever I'm working, I have them handy. I do that a lot. Or let's say that I create, like, for example, with the craft of flowers, you create larger florals. I usually just create, like, if I'm doing a card, I usually create like 2 or 3. Sometimes I have one left over. I have like a little bowl like this, a little bit bigger, maybe like a soup bowl kind of situation. Um, and I just kind of like just stick them in there. So whenever I'm creating a card, I just grab my bowl and see what I have handy and I use it. So sometimes I create a little bit too many instead of what I need. That's the end result of this conversation. So I have my 4 bases, my 4 frames ready. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my base. I'm creating a layout for my 6x8 album. So my page is gonna be 7 inches by 8.5. So I'm just gonna take away the 4 inches. There we go. That's all I'm gonna need it for. I'm gonna punch the hole so I know exactly the spacing for that. These are things that I should have done ahead, but so I always have people ask me how you do it, and I always say, like, I create my pages, and this is 100-pound cardstock, so it's quite a bit heavy. I want it to be a little bit heavy, not just regular, because I want it to be able to sustain the weight of the florals when I put them. I am not gonna make it super dimensional or bulky, but I am gonna add quite a bit of stuff onto it. So having a thicker cardstock is just gonna help to hold on to this. Okay, you see, you do the same. You cut a lot and you put them in a little bag. Yeah, I do the same. It's just, it just makes it easier sometimes when you're in a rush and you want to create things and you're like, oh, sometimes you're like, let's be honest, sometimes you're like, oh, I have to cut all of that. Like, to me today, I was like, oh, but then I was like, oh, if I had them ready, then next time I just gotta glue them together. So I have my page here, and I'm gonna measure 6 inches from. So I'm gonna mark the center because I'm gonna create a grid, like I said before. So I'm gonna use the mat here to help me with this. I hope I'm not messy. It's not showing messy because it's showing messy my side of things and it's driving me insane. So 4 1/4 and 4 1/4, 3. So I'm gonna lightly draw a line here, like lightly just create the cross in the center. I think this is gonna help me when I do the next step. So let me just line it up here. That's the beauty of having like the mat on the back. It just helps you with the grid. So it makes this part super easy. So I'm just gonna create a little cross in the center so that I'm able to like line everything. Okay. I think most of us create, like, I'm reading what Keisha's put in. I think a lot of us, like, whenever we have a chance, we create a lot ahead, so you have leftovers and you can use them. So you're gonna see I'm gonna put my frames here. So this is my idea. I have 4. Okay, so perfect grid. So I know one of them is gonna have my picture. I was thinking down here and my title up here, or I want my title and the picture to be diagonally opposed. So what I'm gonna do until I decide that is I'm gonna back one of the frames with the picture. So all I'm gonna do is just add some glue to the back of one of these frames, and I save the centers of the frames just in case. I have an idea with that, but I don't know yet. It depends on how it goes with the florals. So to back my picture, I'm literally going to, one of the things I do usually is I print my photo. And this one here, I think is 2.5 by 3.5. I like printing them with a white border, so that makes the pictures going to be a little bit smaller. And I actually measure my frames before I die cut them, so I knew that when I was going to put my frame on top of the picture, I wasn't going to cut a piece of the face or anything like that. That's one of my pet peeves. So I always make sure that my picture fits inside of the frame before I do this. So we are going to just put it in place, and then I'm going to sit it there for 1 second, press, and then I'm going to just fussy cut around it so I have my other frames here. So like I said, one of them is my title. I had an idea for changing my title too, and I'm going to show you what I have because I pulled it out just in case. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. See, I'm thinking, where did I go for? I had cut this. This is from like a piece of paper that I had added some acrylic ink to it from Altenew. So this is the Mega U die cut. I have this. I was thinking maybe I can put it in the center for my title. I don't know yet, but I have the idea. Either I put it here. That's what I haven't glued anything yet. Yeah, but I like this. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and cut at the back. I'm trying to read what you said. You want projects with coins in the March. Oh, I don't know. That's out of my league what they're talking about. Oh, the March Madness. I didn't go, even though I have access to it. So I'm just going to right now, just the picture is dry. I'm going to cut around it. Cut a little bit into it. So there we go. Just gonna see. As long as none of the picture shows outside of the frame, that works for me. Garbage on the side here. So how you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing okay. I know that some of you in North America, we just had what we call March break, and I think Americans call spring break. It's happening up here, so it just happened, and we lost an hour of sleep because we went back to, is it daylight time savings or whatever? We lost an hour of sleep, so So I have my photo. It's just a matter of deciding where I want to put it. So I either put it here. I don't want it there. I know that much. It's going to be either here or here. If I put it here, my title is going to be here. Lines of journal will be down here. Or I can put my title in the center and move this down too. So I'm just going to see what looks better. No. I think I want to leave it there. Let me see. Maybe down here. Okay, let's do that. Picture is going to go down here. Title here, lines of journal, and then like what I call a resting or a journaling card, and it's just like a card that has some interest without being, let's see. Yeah, that works. Maybe journaling, title, and the resting card on here. But I have it right now. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and glue this in place. So I have my little, we're gonna guesstimate. Even though I would love to be exact, it is not gonna happen, let's be honest. So we're gonna guesstimate. So I'm gonna put them at around, let's say what, 3/4 of an inch from the bottom or so. So let me just get my tape. I'm gonna go ahead and secure my picture. So let's see around. That looks about right. Gonna see I'm just like ishing it. That's the term. I'm ishing it because it's not an exact science. I think I need to go higher. This is pretty much how I build my pages. I do a lot of questioning my own choices. So, and I'm sure we all do. So even when I'm like, doing a card, you're like, okay, let me see if it looks good here. Let me move it. I do that all the time. I'm moving it. Sometimes things take me forever because I don't know where to put things. And then I have a peeve. And if you guys do the same or something similar, I use repositionable tape on things that I don't know where I want them to put. And then I play around with them. Sometimes they stay for a day or two. And then I come back and then I move it. I take a lot of photos. So let's say I'm working on a page, I will take a picture and like, so I remember what it looked like, and then move it around and then take another picture and then go. I'm a little bit nuts. So, you know, not a good thing to tell you that, but yeah, there's a little bit of compulsion there. That looks about ish, ish, right? So there we go. Once we have this, we have the bones of it, and it's just having fun with the rest of the stuff. Okay, so just the technical part is this part here, the part that, like, even though it's not gonna be like completely symmetrical, we wanna make sure that it looks as if it is symmetrical. Okay, so that's the key here. Let's make it look as if it's actually symmetrical. Okay, so let's see. Looks about right. Okay, move it a bit to the right. There we go. And like I said, I did save the centers of this. Okay, the negative pieces, I saved them. I'll either use them as labels after in another project, so don't be surprised if you see it show up in a card or so. Or I'll use them like, sometimes I use them as layers behind pictures when I want to prop them, like a little bit off the page, give them that little bit of a shadow, so it doesn't go to waste. And I'm like, I know a lot of people do the same thing. They save all the pieces and they use them in other projects. So there we go. We have our grid. See, we have our grid here. So now we're gonna have fun with this. Okay. I have my little stamp set here. So I brought it. And where did I put it? I tossed them. No, I didn't. I have them here. So I have a few stamp sets here because I wanted to use them to bring some interest and to add sentiments to this. So I'm not going to, like I said, I saved my negative pieces. I know that this one here is gonna need one of them. It's gonna add the journaling. So now it's what we're gonna decide. So just help me here. I am gonna add clusters to this part here. So I'm gonna use my florals to add the clusters. So this builds super fast, and that's why, like, having the keyhole makes it super easy. So this is number one. And you're gonna see that usually when I'm creating flowers like this for like a card, I will use I'll show you what I use. I have this little tool here. It's just like a scoring tool, and I usually go like that and fold it to add dimension. But because I don't want to go with anything like that here, I'm just gonna keep it flat. I don't want to add any dimension or anything like that. So literally I'm just gonna put one on top of the other one using the keyhole. That's what I said. It's very, very simple. And I went with flowers that were like really easy to build too, just in case. And then the beauty of this flower is that the centers actually have a keyhole too. So you can easily just go and match it. And then it comes with another piece that's going to cover the hole completely. So it makes it very, very easy. And I cut 2 pieces of cardstock at one point. So I'm just pulling out the layers. There you go. See? One flower. So I already know that I want some. Same thing. I'm gonna make my clusters kind of rotate through my page. Okay, so kind of think of it as zigzag. So one here, then we're probably gonna get another one here, and then another one down here. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna zigzag them through my page. So we have one there. Let's create something that has a little bit different tone of pink down here. And I need a 1 and a 2, and that's what I just wanted, different tones. So let's go with some of this purple, with a darker purple at the bottom. You're gonna see, even though I have a lot, I might not use all of it. So, but I have it for another project. So there you go. Okay, so 2. Again, let's add the center. Little keyhole. It's gonna see how fast this comes together. And like I said, even though you're gonna see that I have a lot die cut, I don't think I'm gonna use all of this. So There we go. So you're gonna see another one. But what I do want to make sure is that each one of my clusters has like a combination of all the colors. So I'm gonna put like my main flower. So I always start with the largest flower. That's key here. So I'm gonna go with something in between. I'm gonna go with the kind of the darker pinks for this, okay? Let's see, yeah, I wanna go with this too. That's what I said. I didn't cut that many ahead of time. I cut a lot, but I didn't build it because I want to make sure that you see what my brain is working with. So I'm going to go darker at the bottom. That's what I was trying to do. And lighter on top. That's better. So let's take out the little centers. So always start with your larger flower, because then you know how much space you have for the rest. Okay, so let's go with the center. And having this little keyhole makes it so easy and so quickly to put this together. So now the only thing that I'm thinking is don't lose the tip of the glue, the little pin. So now this one, I want to make, probably will go here. And then the other one will go here. So you see how I'm zigzagging this? Okay, you can, but for now, let's put it there. And then we're going to try with something down here. So I want to go again to the one up here, just so it balances this. And I want something lighter because the picture's here. So I want the picture to be the focus. So I want something that's a little bit on the lighter side. There we go. And even though the colors don't look the same, there is one is, I'll tell you the color. One is rose quartz and the other one is pink diamond. And I was like, they look the same until I cut them and I'm like, no, they're not the same. So there's like a tiny little bit of color difference. I don't know if you can catch it in the light here, but I like the color combination and I thought it was perfect for this. So there's a little bit of purple, not a lot. So that means that the other ones are going to get purple. So I'm going to show you how I build my cluster. Okay, so let me just put this together here, move this. Okay, so I have my other one. So you see how I have my little zigzag, or I can go like that too, over here. So right now it's just, now that I have the big flowers, let me move this out of the way so you guys can see it. I'm going to show you. So I know this is going to be here, maybe this one down here. This one, I can go one, probably down here better. Then I can put this here, okay, here. This one will probably go down here, and then this one right here. This is not going to get much. I like that. And to balance this, because it's going to be a little bit more at the bottom, I'm going to build my cluster towards the top. So that when it elongates the design up here. So let's go with something purple up here. So I have this one. And these are super easy. And I cut all the centers for this out of blush because I thought that'd be a great way to tie the pink and the purple together. And all my little centers out of sand dune. So then it gets, so you're gonna see my purple, you're gonna see what I mean. See how this one, now that I have the flower, was making it like heavy at the bottom. Putting this at the top, it's just gonna make it a little bit heavier at the top. There you go. See, like it just kind of balances this out. That means that I don't have to add that many more down here. I probably add just smaller flowers and a filler, but my cluster is getting balanced in the page. So now I need to work with something here. Let's go with something that is going to balance this out. So let's go with the darker pink at the bottom, the lighter pink on top, and I'm gonna have tons of flowers left over. So you're gonna see that I am going to add a center to this, but I'm thinking that some of these might not get a center, and instead we're gonna get an enamel dot or a gem. So here I'm going to bring it down here. See how I'm moving my layers, going down here. So then this one will probably get a flower up here. Okay, so let's see. Again, I don't want it too heavy, so let's pick one from here. And even though this goes single, I'm gonna do it like that. I'm gonna make it a double. And I'm gonna play with the colors a bit. I'm gonna bring some of the purple, some of the pink, and this is one of the ones that is not gonna get a center. Okay, and this is just one single layer, but I'm gonna double it. Okay, and I'm gonna add another one here. I have these like skinny little flowers. Again, I'm gonna go with a combination of the pink and the purple. And I'm gonna add a tiny little center here to cover this up. And I have my center here on the side, so it's stuck to my finger. Glue there. Okay, there we go. So you see, that's all I'm gonna need here. Nothing else. Okay, I'm gonna need something up here. I'm gonna bring that flower again. Gonna go light at the top, darker at the bottom. I'm gonna stay in the pink because that purple is really, really bright. I put this here, and I'm gonna just take that little tiny pink purple center, and I'm gonna add a gem to this or something like that. So that's gonna be here. So you see where I'm adding my cluster? It's just like a corner cluster. Okay, and I need something else up there. I'm going to bulk this one up a little bit more so it balances down here. I'm gonna get this little flower down here. Okay, gonna get one of these little pink flowers. I'm just gonna get the bottom cluster done. Okay, that's all I need for the bottom, nothing else. Even this purple, I might have to switch it. There we go. There you go. I have my bottom. I need something else at the top. So I want these ones that are a little bit on the heftier side. That's what I'm gonna call them, just so they balance the bottom. See, and I'm gonna go actually a little bit outside of this. And I think that's all I'm going to need for now. Let me just double check. I'm gonna move this to the side. I have these tiny little ones here. So these ones have like a little center that is like purple. And then there's a little, tiny little button that goes there. And I want this just to kind of go there. I want a little pink one down here. So we're almost there. So just bear with me, but you're gonna see how I'm combining the colors all together here so that you have like a combination of that, which I think it's easier when you choose like a palette, in this case, that have those cool tones. They're all like, cool tones, so they go nicely together. If I were to introduce some yellow here, it would have like a little bit of competition. So picking up like a little bit of color theory is going to help you with this, just because you want to make sure that your colors like, don't clash in a way. So I went with pinks that had cooler tones, because you could go with like, if I were to pick like some corals, then I would bring in some of the red, and that would have made it a little bit harder for me to mix these tones together. And I think that's all I want. There we go. We're gonna walk away from this. Let's bring the leaves. Let me just close this here so I know. Okay. See, that wasn't that bad. I haven't glued anything yet, so let's pull out our leaves here. We're going to, yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Like I said, it would be kind of sad if it was only Keisha and I talking to each other, through the camera. But I very thankful that you're here. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration for your projects. That's always our hope, Even if you don't do memory keeping like I do, you can always apply this to your cards or any other type of project. So I'm gonna keep working on the cluster here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start securing this. So tape onto the frame, because they're gonna be glued onto the frame, not onto the picture. Okay, and this one, the glue is actually, I find that having like the little tip glue here, it helps. So I want something a little bit light, just like a little branch up here to frame it. There you go. So we're gonna go here we can adjust. I'm gonna go with the liquid glue. I find it easier when I'm doing with something like really tiny like this. And having the white background is gonna help you too, just in case. Like I know that some of you might not be like going, I don't know white. I'm gonna tell you that I love white backgrounds. It's just a neutral, and in this case, everything else that I'm putting on top is gonna pop, which is the whole purpose of this. So let's again get some flowers here. Get some flowers, get some leaves. So remember how I have my leaves going this way? We're gonna do the same thing. So lightly lift it. And again, something a little bit. We're going to elongate this. Something, so you're gonna see I have something skinny and something a little bit thicker. Okay? So wherever you want to elongate, I want to elongate to the bottom. I have the skinny part of it down here and the thicker one up here. And it's something else up here. So I'm going to go with one of those tiny little brown leaves here. And I've always mentioned this. I'm not afraid to cut in, die cut even smaller to work for me. Just because I want to bring some of that brown. Okay. So let's go a little bit more. Remember, I have brown in the t-shirt, so I want to bring some of that. So there we go. So now let's glue this one here. So you see, like once you have the flowers die cut, my suggestion, just like I did, don't get your flowers like, done ahead of time. Once you set them in the page, then start working with the color combination so that you can have like a more, what would I say, cohesive look. Because then you can play with the colors to work better for your page, okay? And that's why I didn't glue them ahead of time. So again, I want something skinny to go towards here. And I'm trying to follow the line of the frame. Okay, so I'm gonna go here with something skinny. And I need something, a little bit of this brown here. And I like this little skinny branch here. So let me just, I'm gonna trim it. I don't need that much. And I'm going to like kind of intertwine it between my flowers here. And I'm okay if it goes to the other side. How we doing? We're doing okay? Perfect. So just want to make sure that, like, you guys can, I'm sure you guys can follow this. Once you see it put together, sometimes when you look at projects and like, it's for everybody. Sometimes I'm going, how does he do that? And then like, I see it, I'm like, oh, it's not as hard as I thought it was. Because I'm the kind of person that I'm like, I don't know how they, and then I look at it and I'm like, that was easy. I can do that. So, if I can do it, you can do it, guys. So there we go. I'm going to bring another leaf because I want something. I have already a lot going into this, so I want to simplify this part a little bit. So I have, like I said, I cut two of these at the same time here. And I'm going to bring another one up here because I do want to, kind of bulk it up here. But I'm going to bring some of the brown here. See? I need something else on here. I think I'm going to need another one up here. So whenever you have like little die cuts like this, just have quite a few handy ready. Like, have a few handy and ready so you can play around with them. And I need something small like this down here. And now all we have to do is that title, which most likely we're going to stamp. There we go. So I have my cluster. Let's move this out of the way. We don't need it. Lines of journal. I am thinking that I am going to, let me just put this, cover my glue. There you go. So I'm going to lift it up so you see. You see this one didn't glue in place. Okay, there we go. So you guys can see it a little bit closer. So think of it just like that. That's a card. That's another card. That's another card. So think of it as 4 cards put together here. Okay, so now we have to decide. It's quite a lot. Okay, so that's why we're not going to overdo it with the next part. We're going to go simple. So lines of journal, I'm thinking that I want to add them here or here, either one. title is going to go most likely here. And it's a matter of deciding what I want to do for my title. And I have a few. This is the One Go Loving Sentiments. And I thought that I wanted to use one of this for kind of my, see, I like this here, like that. Lines with journal. So I had that pre-done. I think I want to, like, you know, add something else. I don't know. I think it needs something a little bit more. Yeah, I want my lines with journal down here. I think I want this one right there. I think I want to add like a heart there. Nothing else. Which die set I'm using? I'm using 3 different die sets. I am using the Pond Flowers die set to create some of the florals. I am using the Lovely Floral Hat die set. And I am using, for my leaves and the branches and berry die set. This is like an old die set, but it's still available in the shop. I checked everything. So I think I want to add like a little heart. My lines with journal are going to go down here. Okay, so let me just move this. Okay, let's glue this. I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to cheat. And by that is I'm going to add some cardstock behind it. How are we doing on time? See, we're doing fine on time. We're going to finish on time. Yay! So all I do, instead of adding like, you know, foam adhesive, because I don't want a lot of dimension, but I do want that shadow, what I like doing is adding cardstock behind it. Think of it as adding shims. Okay, that's the way I think about it. So it's going to add a little bit of shadow and dimension, but not a lot of bulk. Okay, here we go. So I have like that, and I'm going to tuck it underneath the flower. So right there. See, title here. I think I need anything else. I do need a heart. That's the only thing that I'm thinking, what am I going to put there? Or I can stamp something in there. Oh, there we go. How about that? It will be okay. Because this is the day she lost her tooth. So I think I want to put this here. I like that there. But I'm not going to stamp it in black. I'm going to go with something a little bit softer. So let me just look. Let's go with plum. Okay. Because it's dark, it's going to pick up on those purples and the pinks. It's not going to be black because I don't want it to compete with that. I might move this a little bit higher. I don't want it to compete with this. It's going to be my title. So I want something that is going to be a little bit on the softer side, but it's still going to create impact. Okay. And I know that there's a way that you can die cut these two, and I have the die here just in case. But I am just going to stamp it right onto the background because I want it to be kind of sunken into the design. I'm just making sure that I have enough ink. Pray for me right now because I have one tick. That's all I have for this. Not bad. So let's clean up. Okay. Lines of journal will be down here, and I will have to type it up after, you know, and I type it on Photoshop. I measure the space, I type it on Photoshop, and then I print it on clear stick labels or clear stickers, and then I just peel and stick. That's the way I might, you know, send my daughter a tooth fairy money. Oh my God, that's so cute. She's 29. Oh, that's so sweet. We didn't grow up with that until I came to Canada, and I was already like in my late teens. We knew nothing about the tooth fairy back in Ecuador. So when my kids were around, the first tooth cost us $20. After that, it was just $1 or so. Like, you know, just so you know. So there we go. Let's finish this with enamel dots and gems. And where did I put them? I know I brought them down. Oh, they're right in front of me. Okay, so I'm sure that you guys have seen the new gems, which look like this. Gem sparkles. Okay. There's also available this, which are crystal clear. So I'm going to pull those. There's a little bit of gold here. I don't know if I'm going to use that, but I'm going to look for the ones that actually match this color. So, and if I don't find them, I have Enchanted Garden, which might be a good thing. Let me see what I have. I'm just trying to find something that is in the kind of on the brownish side, which I'm going to tell you is coming out, but it's not available yet. Okay, so in case you're looking for like, a set of brown enamel dots, stuff like that, that matches your inks, it's coming up. And so just in case you're wondering, I have some shades of purple, and I have cherry blossoms, which are the colors that kind of match this. So let's play with this a little bit. And then we're going to be finished. I do love this. This iridescent crystals. Like, love, love, love. So let's go with something, this medium one, and they have like sticky bags. So I'm going to add one here. And I'm going to add the ones that are super shiny here to the title, because I want your eye to pop there instead of the one over here. So just two. And then I'm going to go with another one of this. Remember here that I didn't add the centers. That's all it's going to get down there. And I'm going to bring it closer to you so you see it, okay? So don't worry about it. And then we're going to go with, so just so you see. Okay, so this gets the shinies and this gets the shinies, because those are the things that I want to pop. These ones here are going to get just enamel dots, because I do want them to pop, but I don't want them to be like, center stage pop. So if that makes sense at all. So I want interest in there. I'm going to bring some of this kind of purplish one and just going to tuck it underneath there. So another one here, let's see. Just to bring some of that, like that puffy heart color down here. Let's move it a bit more here. There we go. Okay, so you see, nothing else done here. So now let's go up here. I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to get some of this light purple. And I'm going to go, kind of extend the look of that a little bit. Get a little bit of this light pink here. Remember, lines of journal will be down here, so I don't want to add much more, but I do want to add something down here. So I'm going to go with a little bit of purple right on the frame, just to elongate this a little bit longer. Make it a little bit longer, I meant. Not elongate it longer. Here. There you go. And I need a little heart. So let's bring some of that. I'm going to go here. One, and then get a little purple heart. That's it. There you go. So we're done. Okay. So even though I pulled a whole bunch more, I'm not gonna add more, because I think I need something like a little bit shiny there. Let's go with a little bit of gold. Yeah, that's better. Okay. You see, not bad, guys. We did it under an hour. Pat in the bag, guys. Pat in the bag. Okay. Let me just put this away. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. There you go. So like I said, lines of journal will be down here. I'm going to be honest with you. If when I add my lines of journal, I find that this is going to be a little bit too much, I might go ahead and just glue this here and cover that up and add a heart. So it is all going to depend once I type my lines of journal, which like I said, they're going to be right here. So if I see that it gets too busy, because it might be, okay? That's heavy. I might just go and like cover this up and add a heart there, and then just add my lines of journal here. But I don't think so. Okay? And that just goes into my album. And I'm always almost caught up. So this is my February pages. So this is going to be right here. Okay. There you go, guys. Oh, that looks very pretty, actually. Okay, so let me flip the camera so I see you guys. Let's see which. I have two cameras hanging here. So okay, this one here. There you go. I see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, Keisha, for having like all the comments and like the questions, because I think I tried to read as much as I could, but I might have missed one or two. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, it's a pleasure. Um, don't forget to check the blog and subscribe to the channel, on YouTube for more content. And, if you create something that was inspired by this, make sure you tag me or tag Altenew too, because I would love to see what you create. Okay. So, as always, a pleasure. And I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.